name, but give me the name you'd like to give me. Any kind of anything you want to tell me about yourself? Yeah. To start with.
Alright, so my name is Giggles, the motherfucking squirrel. And I'm from Los Angeles, and I'm 20. And I came up to occupy Eugene, and it was kind of really dickhead. I'm doing an interview here.
Right on.
On camera. Oh yeah. So
you're back in a hard eating.
Hold on. So I ended up at Occupy Eugene completely by accident, but I completely love it here, and I love the people, and I love what's happening, and we need to get more people on the bandwagon of Occupy Eugene so that, you know, we can have this revolution be spread out more, even more and more and more. Because like it's like a little fire of like new hope, and we need the fires to spread and cleanse the nation and our society. Fix it. So yeah.
It's so many people have so many amazing things to say around here. It just leaves me speechless. What about this site do you feel is important?
It was a total sense of community. There have been times when, like, I'd get settled down in my tent and I'd be like, shoot, I gotta go to the other side of camp. And instead of saying camp, the word town or village popped up in my mind. So that can kind of give you the sense of community that was cultivated here. We had our people who would be up at night patrolling, making sure we're safe, and they did a damn good job until the city started stepping in. And we had our sanitation crew, and we had our engineering crew, and we had our kitchen staff, and our info booth people, and it's like everybody had their own job. And then you had the people who were like sitting, they were helping, and they were helping organize and planning for the future and the next steps, and it was just awesome. And yeah, like right now it's kind of fading away, the camp, but I hope that we can continue this sense of community, because I met a lot of really cool people that I would never have met had I not been at Occupy and in this community.
So what does the cause of Occupy, what is Occupy for you? What does that mean to you?
Well, for me, when I first heard about Occupy, and I first got to Occupy, which my first experience was in LA, so I'm gonna tell you about LA, and then I'm gonna tell you about here. It's gonna be a story. So I went to Occupy LA, and it was just amazing because there was like this huge lawn filled with all these tents, and some of them you could barely walk between them, but it was so chaotic and so hippie, and to be down in downtown LA with so many people just like doing drum circles and stuff, the energy was amazing. It was just pure awesomeness, and I was like, wow, we could create an Occupy party. Like I've been saying for years that our homeless kids, our street kids need to band together so like we can get our views heard, because we are a growing minority that is constantly oppressed and screwed with and treated like crud. And I saw so much hope and vitality, and it was amazing. But unfortunately I was traveling, so I couldn't stay at Occupy LA, and then I ended up in Eugene, and it was even better. it was organized and it was all set out, and there was like a main boulevard, and then you had all your residential areas, and I thought of this as like a little micro town, and it was awesome. You had your main street over there, and then you had your residences sprawling out. It was awesome. And as we were here, like, it continued to build and morph, and we created better structures to keep out the rain and grouped together, and I started going between the little groups and meeting people, and it was just like a little town, and it was awesome. And I got lost here, like, for a month. I was just here. I've been in Eugene since November 10th, and for darn near a month, all I knew was Occupy Eugene. I didn't know Eugene. I still don't. But and for me, the Occupy movement is a great way for a social change, a social revolution of sorts, because I've always thought of myself as a social socialist, where we need less government and more social, like, hold on, let me think of the word, social change, social responsibility, personal responsibility, because the government keeps getting into our lives, telling us, oh, you're in love with another female, you can't marry her, or you have to pay taxes, or they debate whether or not we are allowed to carry guns, and thus taking away our right, possibly taking away our right to defend ourselves. And I think the government is just too in our business. I'm a fan of less government and more localized government having power, so a community has its own power to do its own thing. We had that here for a minute until the city came in and then screwed us over with all these legal implications and bureaucratic red tape. They bound us and strangled this encampment to the ground, man. For a minute, I felt like we were drowning in it. I got mad. I just walked around being mad. So I believe we can create more awareness to create that change. I've heard, I'm gonna totally butcher this quote, but I've heard it expressed that anarchism is the free social grouping of people to do their will without the constraints of government and religion and other institutions, and that's what I believe. So I guess that kind of makes me an anarchist. I'm not sure. There's many different definitions of anarchism, but I wish my friend were here so he could give you that quote, but he's not here. So yeah, that's what I believe. It's still, even though the camp is dying, we can rise up like the phoenix again and create more change and stuff. So yeah.
Thank you so much. That was awesome. That was